Hello everyone, and thank you for joining the Kailas training session. My name is Arjun Karat and I'm a business analyst with the Kailas team. Today, the topic that we will be seeing gonna be very helpful for all the people who deals with different teams and collect the information from the for the different teams. So let's see what agenda and topic we have for today's training. So today the training topic we have is the deal layout customization and data sharing on the company records. Now this two topic we have bifurcated into total 8 points. So what these 8 points will be? So starting first, we would be looking at a difference between the profile permission that is categorized into basic, administrative, and special profile permission. Followed that, we would be looking at what is a deal layout and how it helps the businesses to achieve more. Third, we would be looking at how to customize the deal form layout. There would be multiple forms such as create deal, then edit deal, and the fourth point that is for the deal detail page. So these are the three different forms or the layout that we would be seeing today and how we can customize those. Next, we would be looking at how we can assign a layout to a profile. So here we can assign different layouts to different profile. Then we would be looking at defining owner in the company model. Followed that, looking at the how we can create a share rule for the company record and share it with another user. And last but not the least is the profile permission required to set up data privacy rule on the company records. So first, I would like to give a business use case that will help understand the use of deal layout. In our organization, we works with different teams who have different responsibilities towards getting the customer, moving them to a business, and in this process, they would require to fill in different information in the forms that are available in this system. Now here, the one tricky part is not each of the team will require all the fields available in the form. For example, let's consider there is a pre-sales team who requires to collect the information of a deal. So that so the team can collect only those information that are required for their hello. Yeah. So the pre-sales team can collect those information for their respective deal basis on what fields available on their form, and those fields can be customized basis on the layout that can be utilized for the pre-sales team. Similar to we have other teams, for example sales, which can also have different fields compared to the pre-sales and fill in those information which is required for them. To understand this, let's go to our Kailas system and see how we can achieve this. First, we will look at the profile permission. So you can log into Kailas system and the first thing that you would be seeing is a dashboard. Now in this system, we have different roles played by different user. For them, there are certain restrictions that should be there in order to access the data or perform the activity on any of the record. Now, how this profile permission can be set based on your business need? To do that, we will need to go to our CRM setting, which is available on the left hand side bottom, and then navigate to user management. Here, select Profile Permission. On my system, I have created admin and last is the restricted user. On the type, you will see these two profiles are system created. One is admin and second is restricted user. So let's look at one custom profile that I have created and understand how these profiles categorize into three sections. That is the basic access, then second is administrative access, and last is the special access. Now, basis on this categorization and the naming convention, you might have got an idea what or how this profile will act when the user is using the system. On the basic access, we have this four items, that is giving a read permission to a user so that he can only view the records but won't be able to perform anything on it. Second, we have update. So the user can update the record for which he has the ownership permission. Third, we have delete. And fourth is the create so that the user can create a new record in the system. So this all the basic access are respective to the module available on this left hand side. So we have automation, communication, company management, configuration, deal management, lead management, and many more. So giving this basic access, the user can create a record, update it, delete it, or having only read permission to give a glimpse of the record. Moving next, we have administrative access where the access level will goes up compared to the basic access. How? So here, just below that, you can see we have this three column representing read all, update all, and delete all. So against respective of a module, for example, here I am selecting lead management, and against this I am seeing that what kind of permission currently this sales user have. So this sales user can read record, delete a record, and create a record. So when I turn this toggle on for read all, then the user would be able to read all the records available in the system. But he won't be able to update anything on those records since the update all toggle is turned off. By giving this update all permission, he can update any of the record regardless the user is owner of the record or not. Same way, it is applicable for the delete all as well. Now, this is the very core access plus administrative access in terms of accessing the records, updating, deleting, and adding records to the system. Moving next, we have special access, which is a very helpful category in terms of performing additional activity on records. So on this lead management, I have lead, and under this, we have note, task, meeting, email, call, message, and document section. So wherever you are seeing NA, that means this particular access is not applicable to the respective module. Here, when this toggle for the note is on for the lead management, then the user will be able to add a note on the lead management side. So let me turn it off and save, and let's turn it on and we will see one pop-up Okay, let me also turn it off over here, and we will again try to turn it on for the lead management note section. So when I tried to turn it on, I got a note that by switching note for the lead management system, it is dependent on productivity management note section that we just saw over here under the productivity section. So the productivity section includes document, meeting, note, and tasks which are separate from this lead management. So here when I turn it on and just turn the lead management notes section and save. So this special access is also available separately on this module section where it is dependent in order to turn it on for a respective model, that is lead, deal, and contact. So similar way, we can enable task, meeting, email, call, message, quotation in terms of deal, contact company, and document for the respective module. And also these are available on a separate section, that is productivity management. And on the upper side, we have communication where we have call, email, and messages. So this is how the user's profile permission can be set in terms of what role and responsibilities he need to perform so that he can perform his day-to-day activities and operation without any hesitation. Okay, I hope this profile permission would be good to move to our next topic, that is the deal layout. In the CRM, we have different business entities, that is lead, deal, contact companies, which represents our different business areas. So the lead represents our prospect that may or may not be interested in the business. Second, we have deal, which is actually a business generation opportunity for us. Then contact, which is a B2C, and company, which is business to business. On the deal side, we have three different forms, such as first is the add deal, second is update deal, and third is this detail page of the deal. Now, as I earlier said, that we as an organization have different teams segregated basis on the responsibilities that each of team need to perform. Now, when I gave the example of pre-sales and sales having both different responsibilities, in order to collect the information, they may or may not require all the fields that are available on this deal form. So when I click on this deal form, I'm seeing the information is segregated into four sections, starting basic information, product or services, campaign information, and other details. Now, the pre-sales team is not required to have all the information that we are seeing here. Now, I would like to create a separate form that the sales or the pre-sales team can use and fill in only those information that is required for their purpose. Now, how this layout can be created and help the businesses, let's look at that. To access this layout, we will go back again into the CRM setting and then customization. In the customization, you will see one menu that is layout, which can also be accessed on this setting dashboard. And here you can see the layout in the customization section. Upon click, currently we have introduced layout for the lead entity as well as deal, which are accessed on the top side, separated into two tabs. On this layout, you will see a button, new layout, from where within 4 quick and easy steps, you can create a new layout. How? Starting first, that would be selection of your layout. Second, drag and drop fields in the layout, which is a very simple step basis on what field you need on this particular form. Third, you would be having assign profile. Like I earlier said, we can create a layout and assign it to a profile, for example, pre-sales and sales team, so that both team will have a different view of lead create as well as update or the detail page. And last is save the created layout. On the drop down, you will see this three option, that is add deal layout, edit deal layout, and deal detail layout. Let me go back to layout and pick one example that we just saw, that is for the create deal. On this page, you will see a list of all the layouts that are created in your system. And you can also see the bifurcation, which are system layout as well as the custom, which are created by you. On the user profile, you can see what all profiles are assigned to this particular layout, who created it, when it got created, as well as who updated it and when it was updated. Along with this, you can also see this edit and clone option. So this clone option will help you to copy the existing layout into a new one in a editable format where you can make changes to it based on your business needs. So let's select this create the layout. And here I'm seeing that there are few fields already mapped or drag and dropped over here. Starting first, we have basic information where these 4 fields are already available. So let me show you it from the very beginning. So I'm gonna select add the layout and click on the get started. We can give a name to this layout. So I will say create deal for my sales team. On the basic information, you will see these are the 4 fields that are already present, which is estimated value, contact, name, and the owner for the record. So whenever a user will try to add a record, he will see this information in the basic section. So let me open a deal form. So here you will see basic information, which is comprised of this name, owner, estimated closure, and other detail. So this is a system layout. We will see a layout after creating and how it will look like to other user when we assign it to them. Here we can also drag and drop or move the field and change their position. So for example, I have moved this name field on the top side, and I will gonna move this owner also on the top hand side, so that I will have name, owner, estimated value, and contact in the basic information section. Now next, I will add another section and give it a name, that is campaign information or deal source information. And here I will add the different fields from the left hand side where I can see all the deal fields. Also, I can search fields from this search bar, select it, and drag and drop in the particular section. Similar to that, I can also select other field, such as, let me select subsource. Then I will select UTM, Then I will select UTM contain, UTM source, and UTM medium. So these are the basic information I would need that my sales team should fill in when they are filling this form for the deal source information section. Now let me add another section which is very important, that is product or services, so that the team can actually fill in what my end customer are looking for from my company or what product they are interested in the company. Now next would be save and next. Here we can select the different profiles that the user fall into and should use this layout. So let me try to log into another user. So this is Siddhant Karat, another user. So when I click on the deal and try to add, I'm seeing only this three section available for the user, that is basic information, product and services, and deal sourcing. So I have created one layout for this particular user and assign it to sales profile. Also on this top hand side, you can see a preview button of how it will look like when my team member would be using it. So upon click, I can see how it will look like to the user when they would be adding this information on the add deal form. I will select the profile from the drop down. So earlier we saw that under the user management, we saw this four profile, that is sales, admin, restricted user, and finance only. Also, we can make it a default layout, which would be across all the profiles available in the system. We can also cancel this and go back to our previous step. And here, what I will do, I will remove this deal sourcing and will only keep basic information and product and services. Now let's save it, assign a profile, that is sales. So here, as I earlier said, this profile already have a layout assigned to it. So here we got a pop-up that the sales profile is already associated with a layout, and whether we want to continue with our process and change the existing layout with the new one. So I'm gonna say yes and save. Now this layout has been assigned to this profile. Let me refresh and access the add deal form layout. I'm gonna click again on the add deal form, and here I'm seeing only two sections that we created on the layout, that is basic information and product and services. So here I can give a name to this deal owner. I can give a estimated value, select a contact from the system and add a product over here and save. Now this deal got saved. So let me search for the newly added deal and click on it. So when I click on this particular deal, you will see there are other information as well which are available because we have not created a separate layout for this detail view for this particular user. So let's create a detail view for this user and see how it will look like for the user. So I'm gonna go back again to the step, and here we will click on new layout. I will select the deal detail layout and start. Here I will select the information that would be required. So I'm in the header, I'm gonna have the name of my deal, then owner of this particular deal, and estimated value as well as estimated closure date. Then next in the tab section, so this is the header section that we saw, which is gonna be covered this upper portion of deal detail page. Now in the tabs section, we have this add new option, as well as here you can see a drop down option where you can select the existing tab available on a layout. So here we are seeing this different layout option, and from here we can actually pull the tabs and make changes to those. So I will select deal detail layout, and all the tabs that are available on that layout will auto populate over here. So the basic information is not needed for me. So I will remove or delete it from here. Then the campaign information, other detail is also not required for me. And last, I will have this internal section. And let me add a new tab over here, and I will pull this product detail in the section. Now in the internal section, we have this internal fields that are created at, which are the internal information for the record. And in the campaign, we have this generic aid field that is to let you know the source of your deal, out of which also I'm not required to have this UTM term, then UTM contain, and let's keep it this 6 fields. Let's now save this and assign a profile to this detail layout. So I'm gonna again select sales over here. But before that, let's get a preview of how it will look like. So here we have entity name, then owner, the estimated value, and the closure date, which we selected earlier. In the campaign, we have this 6 field that we selected at the time of layout. Then in the internal, we have this internal created by, created at, and then new tab that is the product and services. Let's go back and change this product and service section, and let's give a name to this as a product detail. Save and next, and again let's get a preview, and you will see the changes are reflecting in the preview as well, that is product detail. Now let me close. I have selected sales as a profile and save. Now let's go back to our user and let's look at the deal that we created. And here you can see the name, that is product training. Here I have selected this again, that is the deal name, product training. I'm seeing the owner that I have selected, that is Siddhant, as well as estimated value and the closure date. On the tab side, I'm seeing campaign information, internal, and product detail as well. Here we have clone. So this view, you might be seeing that this is looking a little bit different. How? Let me give you a reason for that. Because of the profile permission for the deal records for the sales profile. So if you remember at the beginning, we saw that the special permission we have given is for the lead records only. Now we will give this note, task, meeting, email, then call, message, quotation, and document permission on the deal side and save. Now go back to our user. let me log out and log in again. And you will see that the view will be changed when we go into detail page. Yes, so now we are seeing this detail page along with the special access such as the notes, task, meeting, message, and many other things. So this is how this spatial access will allow the user to perform additional activity on the records for which he is or she is owner of. So far, let's recap what we have seen. So we have seen the difference between the profile, such as the basic profile, administrative, and the special. Also, we have seen how this layout will help your different teams to collect the information that are required with respect to their responsibilities. Now, moving next, we will see. Okay, also we have seen uh, how profile can be assigned to this different layouts. Moving next, we have defining owner in the company module. Now on this deal detail page, we are seeing this owner who is responsible for this record. Similar way, when we deal with B2B segment, that is business to business, we also need to have the ownership of this record so that the individual person can take necessary action basis on what he needs to perform to generate more business on the in the B2B segment. We have introduced the ownership in the company module. When I say ownership of a record, that means other user who are not owner and unless and until not having read all permission or the records is not explicitly shared with the user, they won't be able to access or view those company records. To give you an example, let's see it how it will look like basis on two different user. So on this Chrome, I have logged in with this Siddhant user and he is owner of this company 250 to 500. So let me, okay. Again here on the company detail page, he is not able to do anything, neither update the record. So let's give a profile permission to this user to update the company record and we'll understand how this ownership will actually work for him. So I'm gonna give update permission and create permission and save. Let me log out and log in again and go to company section. On the company side, now here seeing a pen icon which will allow to edit the company record and also here the reassign because we have given update permission to this particular user. But if you look at on the listing page, there is only one record. Why this one record? Let's go back to admin login. So this is the admin login. Here I'm seeing all the company records. I have 25 items, but the other user is able to see only one company record because he is the owner of only one company record. Let me change this to product training and save. And I will refresh over here. And on the top hand side, I will see this product training company is assigned or the owner of this particular record is Siddhant Kharat. Now let me do one thing. I will change the owner of another company that is Del2 company and assign it to Siddhant Kharat and save. Now let's go back to Siddhant's login and refresh. Now he started seeing the additional record, that is Dale to company, because I have made Siddhant Kharat as a owner for this particular record. So this is how the ownership will help to segregate the responsibilities basis on the records they need to act on. Moving next, how a company record can be shared with a user. Now there are two ways of sharing a record. One is from the records detail page itself, and second is from the CRM setting, then user management, and at the bottom of user management you will see data sharing. From here you can actually see a list of all the share rules that are created in this system. Plus you can also create a new share rule from here itself. So let's do one thing. We will quickly share a record with Siddhant. Here I'm gonna click on the share. So here on the more drop down, you will see multiple actions such as share, adding a contact, adding a deal, reassigning it to someone or another user that we just performed, or delete. So let me click on this share button. On this share module, you will see there are multiple toggles. That is basic access and special access. So here you won't be seeing the administrative access because it includes the read all, update all, and delete all, which are not included here because that ultimately gonna give access to all the records available in the system. Here we have share to option where we can select a user or a group of user, that is team with whom we can actually share this record. When I select user, I'm seeing a list of all the users available in my system, and on the middle section of this pop-up you will see the toggle. On this basis, the target user, that means Siddhant, can actually perform the actions. For example, let me give update, note, and task permission. But when I'm trying to enable this few of the toggle, few are in the read only section, or they are in the they are in the disable section because this special access is not available on the company model. So which items are available? First we have meeting, then second we have document, and third is the quotation. So let's try to share this record. So when I'm trying to share, I got a toaster message at the bottom of the screen, which reads out that the company cannot be shared because the user do not have the necessary permission to access the company. Now, this could be because of this additional special access that is not available for Siddhant Kharat. So let's again go back to our profile permission, then sales. And here on the company module, if you see this note, task, and other toggles are in the off mode. So let me turn it on, meeting, quotation, and save. Now let's go back again to our rule. I will quickly refresh and we will try to share this record again with the same user. So I'm gonna give update permission, then meeting, document, and quotation, and share. And here I got a success toaster message. Let's go back again to Siddhant's login, and here I'm started to seeing the ABC Corporation. When I click on it, I'm able to edit this particular record but I'm not able to view the special access that we allowed. Why? Let's go back to our profile permission, and here let me enable this on, and we will let me log out and log in again. And now we started seeing this meeting quotation and document option. Let's look at another record. Here also he started seeing the meeting quotation and document option, because on the profile side we allowed this access, which also allowed us to enable this access when we try to share a record. So you always need to look at the profile permission as to what the user can perform when the user stuck and is not unable to perform any particular activity. Also, let's look at the other way that we have as to how this record can be shared from a setting part. So here on the user management, we will go to data sharing, click on add a rule, company record with seed. I will select the owner whose record needs to be shared with a user, that is Siddhant Karat. And here I will select company. Here I can select all records. That means all the company that are available for this particular Arjun Karat user will be accessible to Siddhant Karat. Or we can also give a specific record access to this user. So let me turn this permission and save. Now this company record, that is Gurukul Career Academy, has been shared with seed, and when we go back to the listing page, he started seeing Gurukul Career Academy as one of the record. And if you notice on the owner side, we still have this owner name as a Arjun Karat, because these are explicitly shared with Siddhant but not as a owner. Also, to enable this record sharing, we also have a profile permission that is required in order to allow this user. So on the configuration, you will see this data sharing, which will actually allow to let the user share a record with another user. So this is how the user can share a record with another user. Also, having the ownership on the company record will keep the roles and responsibilities with respect to those users and let them perform actions individually on those records, and will have the data privacy, considering as we work in a bigger team. So we saw the difference between the basic permission, the administrative and spatial profile permission, which will allow to create the record, update the record and delete for the basic permission, plus for the administrative, which will allow to read, update or delete all the records available in the system, and spatial profile permission, which will actually allow the user to perform additional activity such as adding notes, creating tasks, giving a call to the your prospect or setting up meeting, adding documents. Then we saw what is deal layout and how it will help the businesses as we work in a larger group, considering the different teams and their responsibilities. Then we saw how a deal form layout can be created, how we can add different fields into it, and add a section and add a field with simple drag and drop. Also, we have seen the deals detail page, how it will look like when we assign a layout to the user. Followed that, we have seen how these different layouts can be assigned to different profile. For example, the pre-sales, sales, post-sales, such teams. Then we saw how the ownership in the company model will help to access the record and having their data privacy. Then we also saw how we can share the company records with another user basis on certain permission. And last but not the least, we saw how this profile permission will help in terms of data privacy, considering the basic permission, administrative, and special access permission as well. Okay, thank you everyone for joining this training session. I hope this would be helpful for you. Also, this session would be available on our YouTube channel, which you can subscribe and to see all the previous webinar and product training we have conducted so far to get better understanding on the CRM application. Thank you everyone. Have a great day.